Binance CEO, CZ, shades Elon Musk in tweet. When you use electricity to run cars, it's environmentally friendly. When you use electricity to run the most efficient financial networks in the world, it's an environmental concern. In my experience, Binance International customer service doesn't suck much. It's mainly Binance US with which most have faced issues, and as far as I know it's a separate company. Not sure if CZ is the CEO of the US company too. Separate companies. Binance US is headed by the former currency comptroller, Brooks, I think, who unilaterally decided to allow U.S. institutions to become custodians of crypto. Then he quit and was handed a job as CEO of a Binance US. Gotta love that revolving door. New comptroller, Michael Shu, is considering a repeal of the rule. Elon is buying this dip heavy, then will break out a tweet, 5% discount on all cars if you buy with crypto. I feel like this past year a lot of institutions are saying this went up too fast, we didn't buy enough, a couple tweets and bad China articles gave a 30 to 40% discount. Institutions are thinking, this market moves by billions based on Twitter spats. It's absurd and unpredictable. Let's sell all crypto until regulatory framework is in place as requested by the House Financial Services Committee. On November 30, 2007, Tesla released a press release titled Martin Eberhard, co-founder of Tesla Motors, to transition to advisory board. Fortune magazine reported in December 2007 that Elon Musk had asked Martin to leave. Musk stated in an interview that it wasn't due to ideological differences, but that he didn't see a role for Eberhard. On January 7, 2008, the New York Times reported that Tesla Motors issued a statement explaining that the co-founder and former chief executive, Martin Eberhard, has transitioned from the board of directors and executive management of the company to the advisory board. Eberhard noted that while he had signed a non-disparagement agreement with Tesla, so I must, by contract, be a bit careful about how I word things, he was not happy with the transition. In his since-deleted Tesla founders blog, Eberhard criticized Tesla layoffs, which he labeled a stealth bloodbath. In June 2009, Eberhard brought a lawsuit against Elon Musk for libel, slander, and breach of contract, alleging that Elon Musk pushed him out of the company, publicly disparaged him, and compromised Tesla's financial health. In August 2009, Eberhard dropped the lawsuit for undisclosed reasons. Source: Wikipedia, relieved face. I was about to ask the same thing. I remember him tweeting something like, "Don't bother, we are going to release a video of the mini sub/pod thing reaching K5 no problemo," or something like that. Guessing he never did, also guessing it never could, or he definitely would have did that and released that footage as an I told you so kind of thing. He also won his defamation lawsuit against the diver he called a pedo, using the defense everybody knows it's just an insult, not a statement of fact. This is of course considering the context and considering he hired a pie to look into the pedo guy. But I guess he paid the better lawyers. It was circa 2015 maybe. Can't remember. I was buying all kind of things with Bitcoin. ATMs were popping up everywhere. Transactions were almost instant. Then the Bitcoin network got saturated and Bitcoin decided to not increase the block size and instead went for the ridiculous idea of the Lightning Network that never actually worked. Now transactions take what? Hours? I don't even know what the Bitcoin network is supposed to be used for anymore. Most efficient is such a terrible wording and is asking for a clapback. Most secure is what he should have said. Maybe tagged on, and the most efficient backbone for financial networks to open up L2 inclusion, since that's the only possible way we can consider it efficient. This is precisely the answer. There are better alternative to Bitcoin, but there are so many people with a vested interest in Bitcoin that loudly and obnoxiously dominate this debate. Anyone with any objectively knew Bitcoin's energy consumption would eventually be an issue. Vitalik, Charles, Quan etc. all spoke of this years ago. I don't like Musk either, but this is the dumbest take ever by a CEO. This is the same people were spitting in the 90s, if you are worried about the environment, why don't you live in the forest? So ignorant, so disconnected from society. I think if he wants to be like that, not allow Bitcoin to be used to buy Teslas, then we all need to have a consensus on what is environmentally friendly, because electric cars don't even solve that issue either, and mining for car batteries is just as bad as mining for cryptos, but no one wants to point that out. They're both unsustainable. What do we do when we fully mine up these metals that were already extremely rare to get? Just wow. Let me explain how wrong and ignorant his comment is, and anybody else on here saying what they're saying that's ridiculous about Elon. His comment was towards not its efficiency over every monetary system, but the efficiency in comparison to other monetary exchanges of money. When you compare the cost to exchange fiat dollars, It's more energy efficient than using Bitcoin. Also, using other crypto blockchains are more efficient than Bitcoin. So he's just looking for the most efficient way to transact the money. Just like you looking for the most efficient way to drive a car. Everybody chew on that for a while if you don't get it. You're looking for the most energy efficient way to do what your overall goal is. She never said Bitcoin was bad, she just implied that it was not as good as it can be or as good as other blockchain technology currently is, and that's why she's getting away from it as far as a way to pay. He's looking for the most efficient crypto blockchain to use for paying for Teslas, making it the most environmentally positive way to do it. If Elon gave a about climate change, he wouldn't have bought BTC in the first place. Everyone's known about the power usage for years. He's just a con man using his status to influence the market and make quick gains. Oil companies are too rich and powerful to be able to shut down. They're going to continue to tap every resource they can until something fails or intervenes. I keep hearing about this alien technology, like a power source maybe, that would change the world overnight. Whether you believe in that or not, setting things on fire that you dig up from the ground kind of seems like a primitive way to generate power when you consider how advanced everything else around us is, and constantly improving. Call it a hunch, but as long as the oil companies hold the money, they hold the power to shut up any such technology that may exist. Self-sustaining energy isn't very good for business. Anyway, I just feel like we, as a species, should have evolved past worrying about energy usage. I mean, that's our next big achievement soon, I hope. Inefficient and primitive energy sources is our real problem. We as a species only started tapping the ground for oil 125 years ago, and everything we have in use in life is because of that fact. So that fancy iPhone that you claim is so advanced, it's totally reliant on oil. Oil is and has been by far the lowest cost form of energy. It's finally starting to change, but you don't go replacing something like oil easily. All other energy sources, except nuclear, are too dispersed, not concentrated like oil. I mean, for me to replace the energy I burn today, I'm going to need a lot of solar panels, as the solar that is out there is not concentrated. And to build those solar panels, I'm going to need a lot of energy, as in oil. You're living in a fantasy world if you think it's simple to make oil go away and not affect the first world's lifestyle. Now if you're willing to move to the third world, well then you won't have a problem since you'll have nothing to burn your oil in. But then came in and talked about how Doge could actually be better. Like, come on, this is nonsense. It's obviously not about BTC here, it's about him making money and trying to achieve the influencer status in this community. Correct me if I'm wrong, but if we would just focus on changing energy generation from fossil fuels to renewable resources, something I refuse to believe we aren't capable of at this point, don't all these downstream arguments about consumer energy consumption just fall apart? If the energy it's using was generated safely and cleanly, what does it matter? Run all the crypto you want, buy your electric cars, run all the lights and appliances in your house. Waste all the energy you like. If it comes from sustainable sources, it shouldn't really matter. Yes, thermodynamics technically makes it all wasteful. Not my point.